Drivers, start your engines!
It's MRN Motorsports Monday, the place for the latest news and loudest opinions, direct from the guys at the track. Presented by Outback Steakhouse. This program is rated VNGSN and may contain scenes of verbal nonsense and graphic shenanigans. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oscar, my baloney has a first name.
Today's episode is brought to you by Hercules Tires.
Pace car is on.
Here's Woody Kane
Everyone knows your name, Woody.
and Joey Meyer.
I forgot I was Joey. I'm Spotter. Sorry. First problem solved. Nice job.
MRN Motorsports Monday, presented by Outback Steakhouse, with you again after the Western Swing as NASCAR goes west. I'm Woody, he's Joey. Are you good to be back in your own bed now?
That darn Kyle sweeps the weekend again.
What's up? We got to do something about this guy.
And we realistically had a pretty boring day on Sunday.
Yeah, well.
Started third and only finished second. So
That's all you did?
that was it.
That's all you got
It was
for
a very,
that whole
very,
deal.
very quiet day here
Yeah.
for the old number 2 car.
But the 42 car was very good. Kyle Larson living proof that if you keep knocking on that door long enough, sooner or later it opens. 3 straight second-place finishes. Then he sweeps the weekend at Auto Club Speedway, winning both the Xfinity and the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series race. His second career Cup win.
Chip Ganassi Racing has shown speed all year long with Jamie McMurray and Kyle Larson running up front. Obviously, Kyle Larson is the Kyle that we're referring to, sweeping the weekend.
I see what you did there, though.
Not the old Kyle Busch that tends to ruin race weekends and fans go crazy. I haven't heard one thing about the
not a
old
peep.
Cup
Nope.
guy
Nope.
ruining
That hasn't
nothing.
come up.
No, but Kyle Larson had 3 second-place finishes, and the only thing he could do better was win.
Yeah.
And he did.
Wow.
Ran up front all afternoon. It wasn't some kind of fluke, wasn't luck. Great day on pit road for those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Guys behind them had different strategies. The 2 car, obviously, we got in a wreck on the very first lap, started in the rear, and were able to methodically get back up there, contend for a win. If not for that last caution, we felt confident that we were going to get by Larson there at the last couple laps. He talked to him on the way home. He even said, "Man, I was nervous about you guys." So it was funny. But the old 2 car was all beaten, battered. Came home in second place on Sunday. Joey Logano and Chase and Elliott and those Kyle Larson put on a side drafting clinic on Saturday, showing guys how it's done without touching each other. It was really fun
There
to
were
watch.
some touches, just not those particular
Yeah,
ones.
but they enjoy that.
Yeah.
You were allowed to touch. The whole Rubbins racing mentality was on display on Saturday. Kyle Larson come out to victor as well. So kudos to them. A sweep, very, very tough to do in today's time, and he was able to pull one off.
Here's what he said in Victory Lane.
You were in 4th position. What was it that propelled you all the way around Denny and everybody else?
We had a few lap fresher tires in them, and I knew that was going to be very important to get to the lead quick, and was hoping we weren't going to have a caution like we had, and we were just able to have a good restart there in the last one, and get a really, really good push by Truex on that launch, and I got a little nervous that he might peel underneath me or try and get above me, but we were able to carry enough momentum around 2 to hold on to the lead and ultimately get the win. So can't say enough about everybody in this Target team. Credit One Bank. The crew's amazing. Our pit crew's been spectacular this year, and we've had a lot of speed in our race cars. So it's a lot of fun to come to the racetrack right now.
There you go. I guess it is a lot of fun if you're up front every single week, and it seems like he is. He is the point leader as well, 29 clear of Chase Elliott.
It's interesting. I have a really good friend of mine that motor-tuned that car for a number of years. Well, he retired from the position to oversee all the Hendrick motors in the Cup side. His name is Will Gray. It appears it's the only change that team has made, and all of a sudden they're running better. It wasn't the only change they made, but I point out to Will Gray that, hey, man, that team's really responding now.
You're magic, yeah.
You left the team and they're running better. So it's like kudos to those guys. Chip Ganassi Racing leading the points. McMurray's running right there as well, top 10 in the points. Those guys have definitely shown an increase in performance all year long.
And you mentioned Brad Keselowski comes home with a strong second-place finish. Here's what he had to say on pit road afterward.
Brad, it's been up and down all afternoon. Finished on a positive, not exactly the result you were looking for. Describe the emotion for you and what you had to go through today.
I was glad to pull through a day that had a lot of adversity. It shows how good our team is, Alex, and proud of the efforts, proud to get out of here with a second. We wanted to win today. I think we had a great shot at it, but as much damage as the car has, it's a good day to bring home second, quite honestly. So proud of that effort.
There you go, Brad Keselowski with a strong second-place run. We need to tell the folks that we encourage you to head over to Outback Steakhouse, try the Joey menu, the kids menu, all kinds of lunch specials for around the $5 price point, but no bloomin' onion
No
tonight.
free. Get your wallet out. Go to Outback. Support our sponsors. Support good food. You got the good steaks, got the bloomin' onion, but you got to pay for it today because old Kevin Harvick got wrapped up in that first lap wreck as we did.
Yeah, he's still 9th in the standings, but no top 10 finish for Harvick. Big show coming up on Motorsports Monday. Timothy Peters will join us as the Camping World Truck Series gets back in action at Martinsville this weekend. We'll also have some on-track, off-track discussions for you and a whole lot more. Stay right there.
I'm not blooming good, I'm blooming great. Put a shrimp on the barbie and sizzle my steak. Woo, I want that onion to bloom and it get in my senses like a sonic boom. No rules, just right. So bold, so nice. And I'm so ready for that Outback steak tonight. Outback Steakhouse. That's what it's all about. Outback Steakhouse. Blooming great.
I'm Steve Letarte, STP auto expert and former crew chief. I know what it takes to keep engines performing at their best. STP's latest breakthrough additive, STP Ultra 5-in-1 plus Fuel System Cleaner plus Fuel Stabilizer, delivers 3 times the amount of cleaning agents versus premium gasoline and helps keep fuel fresh during storage. For over 60 years, STP has been on the cutting edge developing products to help engines run better, longer.
One bottle contains 3 times by weight the amount of cleaning agents compared to 20 gallons of the leading premium gasoline.
Victory Junction was young race driver Adam Petty's dream. He worked toward building a camp where children with serious medical conditions could concentrate on fun and not their illness or disease. When he died tragically, his family and friends around NASCAR made sure that dream came true. Today, Victory Junction is a camp that provides fun, life-changing experiences to children dealing with illnesses and disabilities, all at no cost to the camper. Help us serve more children by visiting victoryjunction.org.
Kyle Larson pulling away by some 8 car lengths over Brad Keselowski. Keselowski trying to close the gap between turns 1 and 2.
3 weeks of finishing in the second spot. He's looking to improve on that by 1 here this afternoon in California. He's the race leader by 8 car lengths into turn number 3 for the final time.
Here comes Kyle Larson now. Win number 2 in his career will come in his home state. Kyle Larson across the line. He will score the victory in the Auto Club 400.
That's how it sounded from Auto Club Speedway yesterday on the Motor Racing Network. That was Dan Hubbard, Kyle Rickey, and Jeff Striegel with the call as Kyle Larson gets his 2nd career win. And, man, they have been just looking much, much better than they have in the previous season.
I get that the Truexes of the world and the Larsons of the world stayed out front for most of the afternoon. But if you watched that race at California Speedway, they were running in 6 grooves wide. There was racing going on. Those 2 cars were simply the fastest cars up front, and they were able to pull away from the slower cars. That's kind of what racing does. But the racing asphalt at California Speedway allows you to run from the very bottom, literally scrubbing through the grass through turns 3 and 4, or skimming the right side of your car up against the wall through 3 and 4. It's the only facility that we go to that allows that kind of racing. And when you're racing for 2nd and 3rd, we started in the back. If you're at a 1-groove racetrack, we have a very difficult time doing passing. But we were able to start back in the back, work on that car all afternoon, utilize the width of California Speedway, and we wind up 2nd at the end of the day.
Funny you should mention that. That's where I wanted to go for on-track, off-track. Mine is an on-track about the racing surface at Auto Club Speedway. Even the sealers that protect the cracks there from getting water in them, guys are using that to their advantage. If you hit it wrong, it can pitch you up toward the wall. As you mentioned, all kinds of lanes to race on. The tires wear down, and it's exactly what everybody says they want. But remember when that wasn't the case. Remember when it was a 1-groove racetrack and people were, when they had 2 races and people were thinking, why don't we want to do this twice? Well, now they do. Joey Logano even tweeted that out after the Xfinity race on Saturday.
Yeah, we used to go there twice. The crowds didn't support it. Now we're back to 1. We had a fantastic crowd. I don't know if it was officially sold out, but it visually looked like it was sold out. The atmosphere was very Hollywood-like, just like California likes it to be. We had a lot of superstars, red carpet treatments for the drivers. Monster Energy was there activating everything with their trucks and their motorcycles and their girls and everything. It was definitely a good Monster. That was their hometown as well.
Yeah.
Their first race in sponsoring the series at their home state and hometown.
And they did it up right for sure.
Yep.
However, there are some things that didn't go quite so well, and you have one.
You know, our off-track tends to be about complaining, but we need to look at a rule that NASCAR has implemented in 2017 about how the tires that we start on after we qualify. What we're doing is we're penalizing. We're making the drivers start on the tires that we qualify. It sounds pretty simple, but once we run 3 rounds at a place like California and we run almost 6 to 7 laps on these tires, we're starting the race with a distinct disadvantage. And we were able to prove it this weekend by 2 cars starting in the very rear of the field. The 48, who chose not to even attempt qualifying after wrecking his primary car in the race. Joey Logano, who had a difficult time getting
in
through
practice.
In practice,
yeah,
I'm sorry. Yeah, so he didn't even attempt to qualify. Joey Logano did not get through inspection. He didn't attempt to qualify. They both started in the rear. Joey was able to drive back up to 8th place. The reason the rule is goofy is because Dale Jr. cut a tire with on-track activity during qualifying. Okay, well, that's no big deal. You just put 4 new tires on it.
Nope.
Wrong. We were only allowed to replace, they could only replace the 1 tire. So he's starting in the back, 3 scuff tires, 1 sticker tire. He has no idea what his car is going to do. The old rule of being able to start on stickers for everybody in the field was very simple, very basic. If you had a problem, you put another sticker on it. It wasn't a big deal. This was kind of one of those things that looked really easy on the outside, but teams are already using it to their advantage to gain an advantage on other teams, and that's not correct.
Well, to me, that's one of the things that has happened with you mentioned Joey Logano not being able to get through tech. Guys are having to go through now. If you fail one of the 3 stations, you have to do them all over again.
Yes.
And my understanding was part of that was from complaints from teams at each other saying, well, this guy fails this one, goes back, fixes that one, but also does something that he shouldn't to a station he's already passed and doesn't have to go through it again. And now it's gotten slow to the point where sometimes guys get backed up and don't make it out.
Yeah, and on top of all that, when we're going through particular stations, we're not passing them the second time around, even if we don't touch the car. So we need better repeatability inspections, but that's another day for another off track.
We'll get there sooner or later. Let's talk a little Xfinity racing for just a moment. Kyle Larson wins that one, and as you mentioned, we didn't hear the oh my gosh, Kyle, get him out of the series, because it wasn't the right Kyle for that.
Yeah, no, interesting. Kyle Larson had a great day. Kyle Busch did not. So the Gibbs cars are off just a touch, but we've seen speed from the Team Penske cars. We've seen team from the Ganassi cars. Brennan Poole's running really good, who's Kyle Larson's teammate. Joey did everything he could to do to try to win that race and also throw it out the window. Had a speeding penalty, but he only sped in zones 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Well, if you're going to get him, you might as well go big. Right?
There was no question where he was speeding, and then the car falls off the jack. So they had a very fast car, which we did not have in the last year. It's been almost 2 years since that 22 team has won a race. We've seen Kyle Larson run up front. There was a lot of competitive. Chase Elliott's up to it. They were battling. Great afternoon all day long. A couple of vicious wrecks. Cole Custer getting right reared. Him and Ryan Sieg had a little bit of a battle that I'm not sure who won.
But, did anyone?
Yeah, exactly right. But again, the Xfinity Series put on a fantastic performance with the Cup guys, with the Xfinity guys, and that's what you come to see.
Eric Jones, the top finishing regular, he was 4th. The rookie William Byron, another top 5 finish. And how about Bubba Wallace? A 6th place run again. How can he keep doing that? What are the odds?
We also mentioned Team Penske and Ganassi improving their performance. We've seen a huge, dramatic increase with the Roush Fenway Xfinity and their Cup program. If it wasn't for a wreck last night in the Cup Series at the last with the 6 and the 17, they had a good afternoon as well. So definite increase in speed. But Bubba Wallace is doing a really good job, sitting really in the top 10 in points as well.
Yeah, he's 5th in the overall standings right now. Elliott Sadler leads, and he's got a 17-point margin over William Byron, but then it's a gap back to Allgaier and Reed at 46 points.
Yeah, William Byron doesn't have a chance. He's got a rookie next to his name. Got the yellow bumper.
He's also got Hendrick equipment.
Wow,
and that kind of helps.
They're doing
it?
very good.
I'm not denigrating him. He's a good young driver. He really is.
Yeah, no, William's doing a really good job being a rookie. It doesn't look like he hasn't made many, if any, rookie mistakes that we see so far 4 races into the season for those guys. They get a weekend off, which is a pretty big break for those guys.
Yeah, he's going to go barnstorming down in Texas for the race there, and I think Dale Jr. is going to be with him, and perhaps an IndyCar driver is going to be down there as well to help promote that race as well at Texas Motor Speedway. All right, a lot more to come here on MRN Motorsports Monday. We'll shift gears and talk a little truck racing next, because the Camping World Truck Series is back in action at Martinsville Speedway this weekend.
I'm not blooming good, I'm blooming great. Put a shrimp on the barbie and sizzle my steak. Woo, I want that onion to bloom, and it get in my senses like a sonic boom. No rules, just right. So bold, so nice, and I'm so is all about Outback Steakhouse. Blooming great!
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there. Whether you're running on dirt or running a job, our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
This is power. This is freedom. This is tradition.
It's Dale Earnhardt with the lead.
This is being who you were meant to be, where you were meant to be. This is more than a race. This is Talladega. The biggest party in NASCAR returns May 5th through 7th for the Geico 500. Call 877-GO-TO-DEGA for tickets.
Big day for young Timothy Peters. If he can just keep it together, come back around and take the checkered flag, he'll be rolling into victory lane. He's over in turn 2. Nobody close to him from the back. He's a long ways to that traffic in front. He's in turn 3.
10 truck lengths of open asphalt in all directions as he looks for the biggest checkered flag of his life. Off turn 4, Tim Peters for the checkered flag.
In his 64th career start in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, Timothy Peters scores the win here at Martinsville Speedway in the Kroger 200.
How about that? From 2009, Barney Hall welcomes our next guest into the studio. Timothy Peters joins us on the guest line now. He is 6th in the overall standings as the Camping World Truck Series comes back from their hiatus. And Timothy, welcome to the program, man. I know you're excited to go race at your home track with everything going on.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. Yeah, it's it's only been 3 weeks, but it's been a long 3 weeks, and ready to get back at it, especially at my favorite short track on the schedule. Yeah, it's an unusual start to the season in the Truck Series because it seems so sketchy. It's not, we can't really get into a rhythm. A 17th at Daytona, we have a 9th at Atlanta, and then we take a big break, but now we go back to Martinsville. You have your crew chief back with you, back from 2009, Chad Kendrick. How important is it to regroup as a company, but not only that, but as a driver and crew chief, getting back to somebody you know? Well, we made a lot of improvements over the off season. Tom believes in everybody here at Red Horse Racing, and we made the step towards to better ourselves with our equipment and to try to be the best elite team with the competition. So with Chad coming back on board, the best part about that is we know each other. Now, we haven't worked with each other in 7 years, so obviously we both have matured and learned a lot more. So we're just trying to put all them pieces of the puzzle together and try to critique that a little bit. So not too bad of a start of the 2017 season, but we'd like for it to be a little bit better, and maybe all that'll change come Saturday at Martinsville. You can hear the Alpha Energy Solutions 250 from Martinsville Speedway live on the Motor Racing Network starting Saturday at 2:30 in the afternoon. Well, Timothy, let's talk a little bit about what we've seen on track. You've done it a couple of times, and I'm sure have seen it a bunch in the other series. This stage racing has really lit up. A lot of guys are going after those points, maybe harder than we expected. What's surprised you about it so far? Nothing's really surprising. Everything has lived up to his expectations for sure, and everybody wants those valuable playoff points. And, not that nobody was not on the wheel, but it makes you get on the wheel, if that kind of makes sense. So, everybody's aggressive, and that's what the people come to see. So, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series was always aggressive, but, with the chase last year, now the playoffs and the stage racing, it's just put the icing on the cake. So, what better recipe than going into Martinsville this weekend and with the trucks, and you could see that even more. Yeah, third race of the year, we go to Martinsville. It's actually the smallest and shortest track the Camping World Truck Series races, but it races similar to Daytona. If one guy up front makes a mistake, it ends up collecting a big rig track. What is your philosophy going into Martinsville with the stage races? Do you be protective? I mean, obviously you want to lead every single lap, and that makes it easy. But if you can't lead every single lap, what is your philosophy going into Martinsville? Our owner Tom says it best: patiently aggressive. So many things can happen there, and you're exactly right. Daytona is a crapshoot, and I look at that same situation for Martinsville. You can have the best day, and then you get caught up in something crazy now you're doing. But that's racing, you know. But as a driver, you need to go in and be aware of your surroundings and your situation, and you know, you can control that part. You know, regardless of what happens, if you know that you did all the right things and the circumstances, you know, around you allows you or makes you get caught up in that deal, you know, then again, that goes back to being a part of racing. But, you know, you basically just have to be aware of it. There's a lot of new faces, a lot of rookies and great equipment that run good every week that you have to beat, but you still have to be aware of what's going on. And again, at a moment's notice, it can happen so fast and you'll be right up in it. So you can try to prepare for it and anticipate it all you want to, but once that engine fires up and the green flag falls, you know, you're never going to know until it happens.
Chatting with Timothy Peters from Red Horse Racing. He is 6th in the standings, 2 points out of the top 5 behind Matt Crafton, heading to Martinsville Speedway this coming weekend. Timothy, I wanted to ask you about something else I saw from Bristol Motor Speedway, that they're going to use whatever the chemical is. I can't remember the exact name now, down in the low groove at Bristol. You got a chance to race on that last summer. What do you think about that and overall, and maybe at some other tracks? Is it helpful, or is it a track-by-track thing?
I think it's helpful for sure, you know, but I think it takes a lot of trust, and it takes a lot of heat to activate that. Last year was a prime example of nobody wanted to run in it, and actually I think the 19 truck fired off the first practice, and there wasn't no grip in it, and ended up causing him to have to pull the backup out. So once people started recognizing that there may be some grip there and ran heat over it, and it seemed like it activated it, and then it was a positive across the board all weekend, made for some great racing. I think it would be great, you know, as far as some of the other tracks to produce side-by-side racing at the short tracks that maybe you haven't seen in a while. You know, as a competitor and people inside each organization, all they ask for is not for it to be a surprise, you know, leading into that race weekend. You know, so you can gear up for it, because it does promote great racing. It produces a lot of grip, but when you don't know that they're doing it, and you leave here anticipating the old racetrack, and you show up and something's new, you know, it's kind of a wild card there, and you have to go make the best educated guess with your setup as you can.
Well, we do have to show up for Martinsville. We're not going to use much VHT, I believe is what we're calling it.
VHT, that's it, yeah.
13 years and 232 races you have under your helmet there in the Camping World Truck Series. I want to mention or talk about driver code. Martinsville Speedway is one of those tracks that we talk about getting even or retaliation. Do you keep a list over the last 13 years of drivers that have done you wrong? And if so, do you erase it every year? How does that work for a driver of your caliber?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't really worry about that. I mean, right. You're in the moment. Something happens, and, you know, if you get roughed up, you do it back. Or if you rough somebody up, you just anticipate it. So it's just great short track racing. And with the way that our sport is now, you know, you might want to think twice about it, because you never know what'll happen once the checkered flag falls.
Yeah, are you a caller or are you a texter, Timothy? Do you want to hear from the guy personally, or do you want to see a text from him?
I want to be face to face.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, this calling deal or texting. You know, I'm old school.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, I've done that in the past. You know, and I've called when I've made mistakes, and I've gotten calls when I've been on the receiving end of it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it might, you know, ease some of it, but you know, still our day, it was. You know, at that point, it is what it is, and there's no correcting it. You just have to move on. So, you know, everybody likes a little bit of controversy. That's what the sport was built on.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, I'm a face-to-face kind of guy.
There you go. That's Timothy Peters. Look forward to seeing him race this coming Saturday at Martinsville Speedway in the Alpha Energy Solutions 250. Hear it live at 2:30 on the Motor Racing Network. Timothy, congratulations on the strong start to the season, right in the thick of it, and we head to your favorite track. Looks like things are moving in your direction.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I can't wait to get to Martinsville and hop in my Toyota Tundra and see what we got for the weekend.
Man, tell my old crew chief Chad I said hello, and we'll see you guys at Martinsville.
All right, thanks, Joey.
See you.
All right, thanks for your time. There you go, Timothy Peters, and the trucks are back in action. I don't think anybody is in love with that long break they take.
No, it's very, very erratic or scattered, however you look at it. Years ago, we used to race in January. Before Daytona, we raced in Orlando in that season, but they're going to make a small adjustment to it in 2017. We'll actually run 2 triple headers in Vegas, and that will include the trucks here in the first West Coast swing, and then the Cup Series and Xfinity Series joins what used to be a standalone truck race in Vegas. But now this weekend they come to Martinsville looking for one of the, if not the most prestigious trophies. That big honking damn grandfather clock is just gorgeous.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, a little bit more on Motorsports Monday. We'll look ahead to what we expect at Martinsville Speedway this weekend.
I'm not blooming good, I'm blooming great. Put a shrimp on the barbie and sizzle my steak. Woo, I want that onion to bloom, and it get in my senses like a sonic boom. No rules, just right. So cold, so nice, and I'm so ready for that Outback steak tonight. Outback Steakhouse, that's what it's all about. Outback Steakhouse, blooming great.
I'm Steve Letarte, STP auto expert and former crew chief. I know what it takes to keep engines performing at their best. STP's latest breakthrough additive, STP Ultra 5-in-1 plus Fuel System Cleaner plus Fuel Stabilizer, delivers 3 times the amount of cleaning agents versus premium gasoline and helps keep fuel fresh during storage. For over 60 years, STP has been on the cutting edge developing products to help engines run better, longer.
One bottle contains 3 times by weight the amount of cleaning agents compared to 20 gallons of the leading premium gasoline.
Race fans, you know there's nothing like the power, excitement, and sounds of NASCAR. Ever wonder what it would be like to strap yourself in the seat of an authentic NASCAR race car? You can do it at the Richard Petty Driving Experience. Ride along or drive yourself at one of 15 tracks nationwide. Call 1-800-237-3889 or visit online at drivepetty.com. Richard Petty Driving Experience. It's authentic NASCAR entertainment. Call 1-800-237-3889 or visit drivepetty.com to reserve your experience.
White flag is in the air. 1 to go. The leader, Kyle Larson, to turn 1.
Joey Logano may have enough car, but does he have enough time? He's chipping away at the lead of Kyle Larson.
Into turn 3. Less than 1 car length now between the top 2. Logano mounting a challenge up top.
Joey Logano working to the high side. Larson now slides up in front of him. Larson slides all the way up to the fence. Logano slides in behind him. Kyle Larson picks up the victory in the Service King 300 at the Auto Club Speedway.
Kyle Larson wins the Xfinity race at Auto Club Speedway. That was Kurt Becker, Dan Hubbard, Kyle Rickey, and Steve Post on the call. And don't forget, now it's STP week as we head into Martinsville. And for over 60 years, STP has been on the cutting edge, developing products to help engines perform at their best. Their latest breakthrough additive, STP Ultra 5-in-1 plus Fuel System Cleaner plus Stabilizer, deep cleans your entire fuel system and helps keep stored fuel fresh.
Scientifically treated petroleum, STP.
There you go.
You
got
go.
it. Yeah.
So now we go from one of the largest tracks that we race on, not being a speedway or road course. Now we go to our shortest track at Martinsville. Personally, on Saturday, the truck race is one of the sloppiest races, and nobody can ever put a finger on why. Those guys beat and bang, but one of the things we tend to overlook is most of it's the starting rookies. We always have a very large group of starting rookies because they haven't been approved for the 2 previous races, Daytona or Orlando. This will be some of the guys' first start of the year. Here we are in April already. The Cup guys, always Jimmy Johnsons, the old Jeff Gordons. Maybe we saw guys, Darrell Waltrip, Rusty Wallace really dominate Martinsville. Now we have a new breed of drivers that are getting that racetrack under themselves. And whoever can keep the tires under them the longest, utilizing the stage racing to their benefit, we're going to see in victory lane at the end of the day.
It's going to be a lot of fun for sure. Don't forget now, we'll have that for you right here on the Motor Racing Network. The STP 500 starts live on our air at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday afternoon. The Xfinity race, the Camping World Truck Series race, the Alpha Energy Solutions 250 starts at 2:30 on Saturday on the Motor Racing Network. And don't forget NASCAR Live. That comes your way every Tuesday night at 7 Eastern Time, and then after that on demand at MRN.com. We're almost there.
I can't wait to Martinsville. It is a nice race on Sunday. Saturday I get a little frustrated with the beating and bagging, but that's what it's about.
All right, we'll see you next week right back here to iron it all out for you, because there will be some hurt feelings when we leave Martinsville Speedway.
Big clock.
There always are.
Big clock.
Yeah, maybe
Big
we
clock.
can bring one in here. See you next week right here on MRN Motorsports Monday.
MRN Motorsports Monday is presented by Outback Steakhouse. Tune in every Monday for another exciting episode right here on MRN.com. Brought to you by Hercules Tires. MRN Motorsports Monday is also available on demand in MRN.com's Media Center, on our Facebook page, on YouTube, and in iTunes or the Google Play Store. MRN Motorsports Monday is a production of the Motor Racing Network.